Justice Minister Mmamoloko Kubayi is calling for a review of the protection measures for witnesses at the Madlanga Commission after the murder of witness D, Marius Merwe. Kubayi says a bill to protect whistleblowers has been concluded. She was speaking at a briefing on the developments in the justice sector. Newzroom Africa's Zoleka Qodashe is tracking the story for us and joins us live for more. Zoleka, much of this coming seemingly a little bit too late as measures are being called for protection, particularly for those that are witnesses at the Madlanga Commission. Did you get a sense of urgency when you listened to the minister a little bit earlier? And what is likely to come out of what she had to say earlier?
That's correct, Hugo. In fact, it was several years ago when the Commission of Inquiry that was investigating those allegations of state capture actually made a recommendation in relation to the legislative reforms that needed to take place to ensure that whistleblowers were protected. You remember that part of those legislative reforms were in relation to the Disclosure Act that essentially would ensure that a whistleblower would be protected given the certain situation or circumstance that they may be confronted with after giving particular evidence also in the workplace. You'll remember that the now retired Chief Justice Raymond Zondo spoke specifically, in fact, on numerous occasions, speaking about the protection of whistleblowers. And in fact, it seems that it has once again been thrust to the fore. And he has also criticized the fact that this particular reform has been slow, and it is a concession that has been made by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development. And so she also expresses a fear for further witnesses who may appear before the Commission of Inquiry that's investigating these allegations of criminal infiltration and political interference in the criminal justice system. And so there is a sense that reality has finally dawned on some political figures in relation to the extent to which certain parties are willing to go to ensure that the criminal networks that currently exist within our country remain intact. And so I think yesterday, or last night rather, when the Commission of Inquiry concluded its work, that was a crude reminder of the reality that continues to bedevil South Africa as it seeks to reform its society and ensure that the administration of justice and that the rule of law prevails. And so that is what the minister has said. It's also, she mentioned something about reforms, Hugo. You'll remember that earlier this morning we reported that there was an engagement between the minister as well as the president in relation to the review, that is expected to take place in the way that the Commission of Inquiry conducts its work. And so, of course, this process is guided by the Commission's Act and as well as the Constitution. And so the review that will take place will be in line with the constitutional prescripts as well as legislation. But she does also mention that she expects that this review of the process before the Commission of Inquiry will take place before it resumes its work. You'll remember that it concluded its work last night and also on the 5th of December, that was yesterday, and we expect that that review of the process will be something that the Commission of Inquiry takes seriously as it continues to seek to extract as much information from witnesses and look at those allegations of criminal infiltration after they were raised by the top cop in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. But let's just listen to what the minister had to say in relation to the reforms in relation to legislation.
Again, the new legislation that we are bringing forth is a legislation that is called Protected Disclosure Bill. Protected Disclosure Bill will be the bill that goes into detail and protects our whistleblowers. What this bill seeks to do is to be able to put mechanisms in the country to protect whistleblowers, to be able to link the infrastructure that is currently linked with the witness protection. So that bill has been concluded, is currently going through legal evaluation. We're expecting within the last quarter of this financial year to have concluded this process, and it will be in cabinet and submitted to Parliament for Parliament to process it. I want to urge Parliament as well, we will write to the Leader of Government Business that this bill be prioritized as it is urgently needed.
Now, Hugo, something that was also stressed by the Minister as well as her Deputy, Mr. Andries Nel, in relation to witness protection is also the fact that Mr. Marius van der Merwe did not seek it, and also stressing that it is a strenuous process that essentially involves these families and whistleblowers uprooting their lives from South Africa and essentially seeking maximum security in relation to protecting them. And so that is the basis upon which, as well as the fact that he did have a security company, that is why it's alleged that he refused to or declined to have any witness protection, Hugo.
Zoleka, Qodashe, appreciate your time coming to us, speaking on the sidelines of Justice Minister Mmamoloko Kubayi is calling for a review of the protection measures for witnesses at the Madlanga Commission.